Greetings, Andy here again with another video, and this one's a contest. I don't often go into contests, though I do some threads occasionally, and this was a contest set by a channel, Rick and Records, Rick from Michigan, I believe, and I picked it up, a double mention actually. One was from Steve Carlson, mentioned it, and also Jamie at Life of Vinyl mentioned it and did one of the videos, so I picked up on that and decided to give it a go myself. So I've gone along, had a look at Rick's invitation and his show of 5 records which are duplicated. He's the aim of trying to get up to 300 subscribers, so I've subscribed and I'm going to give his contest a go. So I'm going to do these in chronological order, and I'm going to start with Wishbone Ash, Pilgrimage. So this is Wishbone Ash's second album, probably not as good as their first or their third, Argus. But it's an album I love. I bought this. When this came out, I would have been just about turned sort of 14. So it's one of the first sort of, what would you say, rock albums I bought as a young teenager. I had a rubbish equipment in my bedroom at the time, and I played this to death, and it's in dreadful condition. You can see the spine is all worn, but the vinyl on this one isn't particularly good. At some point back then, I've obviously given it a hell of a scratch, and it really clicks. It's sort of, it's not really that playable now. So a few years ago, I bit the bullet and just bought a reissue on Discogs, an old reissue, from back in the 70s, but it's in good nick, so I play that occasionally. Same year, 1971. This is Jethro Tull, Aqualung, great record, one of my faves of all time. And I bought the 40th. Is it 40th year? The 40th year anniversary copy. So there's a booklet in it, and this is the Stephen Wilson remix. So it's a fabulous remix and repressing of it. Actually, my original isn't in bad condition. But had to get that because it's an album I love. Still sort of a bit later, so we're in 73 now, but we're still sort of vaguely proggish, and this is Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Brain Salad Surgery. So this is an original, I think. It's got a bit of ring wear. It's okay, good, reasonable condition, very playable. But recently, the last 3 years anyway, as a Record Store Day copy, or last 4 years I can't remember, but over the last few years, they've released picture discs of them. So I've got, this is the third one I've got, a picture disc of Brain Salad Surgery, and with all the original artwork on it. On both sides, and I've got, I could have done, by the same token, Tarkus, because I've done the same as that, and I've got that, which is my favourite of their albums, to be fair, and Trilogy, the same, but I've shown some of those before, so I thought I'd show Brain Salad Surgery. Now, this is a bit weird. I thought I'd include it on there just because it's a bit different. Now, I've never really been into the band Japan. Consummate musicians. I quite like some of the songs, but I've never been that wild about Sylvian's voice. But I have 2 copies of Twin Drum. In fact, I also have 2 copies of Gentlemen Prefer Polaroids, is it? Neither album I particularly listen to very much, so why have I got 2? Well, these were my wife's, so we're both on our second marriage. We met sort of 20 years ago, got together, and she brought a hell of a collection of Japan albums and Sylvian albums, some of which were duplicated, and she thinks, or she thought, that one was one she bought and one was what her first husband bought. So here I am. I'm not that wild about Japan. It's okay, I can listen to it, but and I've got 2 albums from them, one of which obviously belonged to her first husband. So how weird is that? So 80s, and then we're going to move on to the 90s. And DJ Shadow and his seminal album Introducing. So this is one I started, first had on CD back in the day and still do. And then a few years ago, I spotted a reasonable price, a vinyl copy, and given that the whole album is made up of samples from vinyl records, it seemed appropriate that it was on vinyl. And then a couple of years ago, for its 25th anniversary, he did a reissue. He'd long lost the tapes. So these were originally recorded on digital audio tapes in the 90s. And he found them just in time to do this 25th anniversary copy, which was cut half-speed mastered at Abbey Road Studios in London. And it's such a great album and such an important album that I decided to splash out on this one, and it is absolutely superb. So there are my 5. I could have done probably another 10 easily, and then if I just bought CDs into it, probably could have done another 200. But anyway, that's my entry into Ricken Records duplicate contest. So thanks for watching. Cheers.